My name is Elaine Black. I work with the International Labor Defense, and we work with young workers who are beaten, arrested, and thrown in jail. It is hard and dangerous work, but when you see what has to be done, it's easy to do. I spend most of my time, in truth, at the Hall of Justice with a couple of $1,000s in my purse, bailing out workers. And I've now come to be known as the Red Angel. This is because when you're thrown in jail, anyone who comes to bail you out pretty much looks like an angel. And I certainly am a red one. On July 5th, I was at strike headquarters over at 113 Stewart near Mission. In fact, ironically, we were talking about how to deal with police attacks. I left there to go to meet Nick, my friend and fellow ILD member. As I stepped out onto the street, that's when I saw the white clouds of tear gas and I could hear the bullets. Charles Olson was lucky. He was a longshoreman, and he was shot at Mission and Stewart in the arm, in the chest, and in the face, and he lived. Howard Sperry, a striking sailor who was working over at the Union Relief Kitchen at Embarcadero and Mission, was on his way to strike headquarters to have his strike card punched. In fact, he was coming there just as I was leaving. We probably passed each other on the sidewalk. He was shot also at Mission and Stewart in the back, and he died before he got to the hospital. Another man was also working at the Union Kitchen, and he was also shot in the back. He crawled to Mission and Spear, which is only about a block and a half from where we are standing now, and that is where he died. I got a call to go to identify this man at the morgue, and I said I couldn't go because I was to meet Nick, but I was told I had to go. So I went. Now, I have seen men shot, I have seen legs broken, I have seen heads cracked, but I had never seen a dead body before. And this body was clean and white and no marks on it except for one in his back, a bullet hole, and it was Nick. Nick Bordoise, who I was supposed to meet, but not like this. I was not to meet him on a slab.
The policeman who killed both the men was described as like a man shooting birds, except they weren't birds, they were men. They were an unemployed cook and a striking sailor. They were men just like all the men standing here. And at the end of that bloody day, who was marching into San Francisco? 6,000 National Guard, young, fresh-faced kids with big, heavy machine guns. And those fresh-faced kids, they set up machine gun nests at the end of every pier on the Embarcadero with orders to shoot, to kill. And the ship owners, they said the strike was over. It was all over. They had won. But we are just beginning. We're here today to honor Howard Sperry and Nick Bordoise. We're here to make sure that they will always be remembered, to make sure they will never be forgotten.
In life, they wouldn't have commanded a second look on the streets of San Francisco. In death, they will be born in a stupendous and reverent procession that will astound the city.
And so, brothers and sisters, we ask you to join us as we follow the coffins, escorted by the drill team, up the Embarcadero. And when we march up the Embarcadero, remember those machine gun nests that were at the end of every pier. And remember the tear gas and the shootings and the clubbings that followed us everywhere we went that day. But today is our day. And the police know that today is our day. And if there is any policing to be done, it'll be done by us.